linebackers, Jake Matthews, Michael Barton, and representing the offense today, offensive lineman Cody Creason. Go ahead and address your questions to the guys.
Jake, what went wrong on that 2-point conversion?
First question.
I know, that's a great question. Well, the problem is I hadn't ran the ball since I was a senior in high school, so but we'll try some more this week and get it fixed.
Jake, this program's been able to beat top 10 opponents, especially at home, 3-1 since Coach Rodriguez has been here. I don't think that even includes the win that you guys had in Oregon a couple of years ago. Is it easier to get up for teams that are ranked that high?
No, because every game's important, but there's a little something different. You know, good athletes rise to the occasion. You know, and it's a bigger game than the rest. When you have a top 10 opponent and the whole country is watching, you know, like Coach Rod said last night, the score is going to be on the ticker on ESPN the whole day, you know, during the game. So you'd like to see us on the right side of the score.
Cody, you got your first significant playing time yet. I mean, how'd you feel like it went for you on Saturday?
I felt like I played pretty well. I definitely have things to work on, but overall I was happy with my performance.
You know Jake Browning pretty well. I mean, what's your relationship like with him, and what kind of quarterback?
We're very close friends. We text each other probably every day in a group message with my high school friends. So yeah, we're pretty close.
Have you guys talked about the game coming up this weekend yet?
Not yet, but I'm sure there will be some smack talking going on later in the week.
What do you think makes him a good quarterback?
He can do a little bit of everything. People underestimate him as an athlete, but obviously he's very accurate with his arm, has a strong arm.
Jake, what were some of the, Cody, what were some of the challenges you guys were dealing with different guys in there? Christian was in there, you were in there, a lot of different pieces moving in that offensive line.
Yeah, I wouldn't say there's very many challenges with that. You got to be ready to play your position, do your job, and it doesn't matter who's to the left or right of you. You just got to do your job.
Cody, had you been working at right tackle throughout camp, and when did you find out you'd be starting this game?
I worked a little bit of right tackle, a couple practices, but not much. And I found out just a couple minutes before the game that I was going to go when Gerhard was hurt.
Cody, this is a Washington team. Their first string defense hasn't allowed a touchdown so far this year. What about that makes them so tough?
They're very good up front. They have a very good front seven. Their defensive backs are very athletic. And yeah, they're just strong and physical all around the field.
Michael, you guys obviously didn't play as well defensively in the second half as in the first. What did you see when you looked at the film as far as where the breakdowns were or what happened?
Just some correctable things, missed assignments, and just lagging a little bit on coverage, a couple missed tackles here and there. So it's stuff we can get corrected and stuff that's going to get corrected for this game.
Can you learn from a situation like that? Like, you know, the sort of thing like we need to maintain our intensity no matter what the situation is, that sort of deal?
Definitely. It's good thing about these first 3 games is that we've gone through a lot as far as, you know, ups and downs, coming back from early lead deficits, winning that game last minute. So we're pretty battle tested right now after 3 games. So there's not much else we're going to see. I think it's going to help us the rest of the season. And just having these lessons to learn from is going to have us ready for Washington.
Michael, as a guy that played in the North, what have you seen, what change have you seen in this Washington program since Peterson got there and the way that they've been able to now get into the position where they are?
I think before Washington's always had athletes offensively and defensively. And Coach Peterson, he continued to have those athletes, but as well just create a better culture over there. And I knew a few guys. I grew up with Travis Feeney. Played Pop Warner with him since I was 9 years old. So talking to him, he's with the Steelers now, but talking to him, he really liked the culture that was created there. And the guys they brought in, they just changed their work ethic more than anything. But they're a physical team, and they play really well, and they play discipline. And they're going to be a big task for us, but I'm excited, and I know my guys are excited and ready to play.
Sorry. Michael, can you elaborate a little bit more on the challenge Jake Browning presents when you see him in film?
Oh yeah, so last year when we played him, our game plan was kind of to take advantage of him because it was a younger guy, and he didn't have that much experience, but watching him on tape now, I mean, it's like a 180 as far as the poise he has, the way he commands the offense, and the way he makes accurate passes and gets his team down the field to score. So it's going to be a big challenge to compete against this guy, but I'm excited, and it's the first Pac-12 game, and our guys are ready for Pac-12 play, and it just gets everybody excited.
Question for either or both of the linebackers. The world kind of discovered J.J. Taylor Saturday night, but you guys went against him in practice throughout the month of August. What did you see from him in practice, and is what you saw kind of what everybody saw on Saturday?
So I think it was probably the first or second day we were doing one-on-ones. We do one-on-ones every day with the running backs, and a couple guys went against JJ. I went against JJ, and he shook me up and caught a beautiful pass. And then I really started paying attention. I was like, this guy's going to be good. I think a lot of people underestimate him because he's small, and because he's a freshman, but he's starting to turn. He's showing that doesn't matter, like a lot of guys have before him, and he runs hard, and I really appreciate him, and he works hard, so he's going to be a great player.
If I told you that we timed his last 40 on that 61-yard touchdown run, it was sub 4.2, would you be surprised?
I wouldn't. He has some acceleration going into it, so.
Had you seen him on video? I mean, have you seen any of the tapes of what he could do before you actually met him and he got on campus?
I didn't know who he was. He's so much younger than me. What was he born? Probably like 98. I was born 94 or something like that. So, I just got here and didn't know who he was, but I mean, he has everybody's attention now.
How did Cody, in your view, obviously it was your first game, but Brandon's still pretty young. What kind of command does he have of the offense as far as leadership and?
He's a very good leader.
Yeah.
He has he's a very smart quarterback. I don't think a lot of people think of him like that, but he knows what he's doing out there, and he's just a smart quarterback, and yeah, he's good.
Cody, I know you guys want to run tempo. How quick are you trying to get the play off, and can you kind of feel in your head where you're like, okay, we need to get it off now or something like that?
We want to go very fast, as Coach Rod always mentions. The faster, the better. So as long as we're not going too fast where we don't know what we're doing on offense, but overall we want to go as fast as we can.
Is there a time limit in between plays what you want?
No, not specific.
Cody, what's most fun for you as a lineman having a back like JJ who can kind of do what he does?
Well, I like at the beginning of the game when we just kept running the same play over and over and over again, running down the middle. That's the funnest time as a lineman, just going to hit the defense in the mouth time after time. And with a back like JJ, you don't really have to block it perfectly for him to squeeze out of there and make a long run. So that's always fun to block for a guy like that.
Any more questions for the guys?
Yeah, for the linebackers, how would you guys assess the defensive lineman production through the first 3 games?
I think they've been great.
Yeah.
I think they've been doing a really good job of doing live movement and stunts. Parker Zellers, Sonny, of course, Fish, and Bill Knapp and Luca. All those guys have been doing a really good job of moving so that we're able to run free and make fill the lanes. I think they did a great job this last game as well.
They listen to us too. When we tell them which way to go, and they always listen. And that helps us to determine their gaps so we can make fits off them.
Now, Washington's defensive line or offensive line is pretty big up front. You guys make any different adjustments as opposed to the first 3 games?
We're just going to keep doing what we're doing. That's the thing. Like I said last week, our defense is pretty versatile. It's versatile enough to where we can we don't have to change too much to play any type of style. So we could adjust to the spread. We can adjust to pro style. We can adjust to 22 personnel. And I think that's what makes this defense great when it's executed right.
Michael, how would you describe the difference between the intensity of week 3 and the intensity of week 4 when Pac-12 starts?
The intensity is always going to be there, of course. I think, like Jake said, it's going to be a little extra because it's going to be the first Pac-12 game at home, and we're playing a top 10 ranked team, deservedly so that they have earned. So I think the intensity is going to be there, and there's always Saturdays we're going to be ready to go.
Jake, do you feel like the defense has progressed, gotten better each week, and do you feel like you guys are ready for a test like Washington, which is clearly going to be the best team that you faced so far?
Yeah, I do. We have like stats of how our defense did and the goals we met from the first game. And now after the 3rd game, we've met way more goals as a defensive unit. So we look to just keep progressing that, and I think we will, and we'll come out ready to play against Washington.
Do you think having Coach Yates and his past relationship with Coach Peterson is going to help this week too?
I'm not sure. Hopefully we get a little tip on what they're doing. But yeah, we're not going to change much. Just go out there and play and execute.
For the linebackers, a couple weeks ago, Coach Rod said that 6 3-and-outs is what is the desired goal. There haven't been any, I don't think, all season. Is that something that has been discussed? Is that a major concern with the two of you guys, that you guys can't get off the field and being 3-and-out so far?
Yes, that is for sure a concern we have, and we just have to get off the field on third down. We just got to get up a little more, get the crowd into it, whatever it takes. We have to get off the field and get the defense or get the offense the ball.
Michael, have you identified any reasoning from what you've seen that you guys are failing a little bit on some of those third down instances?
It's not just even 3-and-outs, it's really, just third downs in general. I think we're towards the bottom in the ranking as far as third down efficiency, so that's just something we need to address, whether it's a missed tackle or miscommunication between the secondary or D-line or blitz, stuff that's very correctable and stuff that will be corrected.
Does Coach, I know he was very upset about the penalties, obviously you guys didn't commit them, the other guys did, but does he do things in practice to punish you if you commit a penalty, or create some incentives for not committing penalties or anything like that?
I mean, I think we all know what's right from wrong, so just having that penalty enough, we know we're hurting, guys know they're hurting the team, or so I think that's enough to where nothing really has to be said. Guys already know what to do. I mean, we're all grown men up here, so we know what we could do and we know what not to do. And Coach Ryan does a good job instilling that in us. And passion, you get lost in the passion sometimes. Stuff happens, but we just move on.
Okay, gentlemen.